What's up, guys? This is Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with SPY, Tesla, and the broader markets. Just know that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I'm saying as financial advice. So, as far as Tesla's going, I think that the setup is looking quite decent right now. For the last couple of weeks, Tesla's been in this channel, putting it in a big downtrend for now. But I think that the catalysts that come out could cause some volatility for Tesla, especially Nvidia's earnings. And we're going to be watching some very, very key levels based off what ends up happening. So, two things to remember, okay? Number one, today at 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have the FOMC minutes coming out. That could cause some volatility for Tesla in the markets because we're going to get more insights from the Fed and more insights on the different Fed officials and their views of monetary policy. Just remember the FOMC minutes is not the same thing as FOMC. It is simply just a paper report that gives us more ideas and thoughts from the Fed and the different officials. Keep that in mind. That's what we're going to get, and this may cause a big move. It may affect our target rate probabilities, causing some volatility. On top of that, I don't think the FOMC minutes will be as impactful as this, though. The second big thing to remember is Nvidia's earnings after market close. That's going to likely cause some high volatility. So get ready for that, especially for the tech sector. This will be affecting Tesla because Tesla is quite reliant on them for their H20 chips. And I think that whatever happens to Nvidia and what they tell us could cause a big move in the whole market and for tech. That in turn will cause volatility for Tesla. And then one more thing, I will go over this more in my later videos, but for tomorrow, before the stock market opens, which means that if you're holding anything overnight, you have to hold through this data. Before market open at 8:30 a.m., we have the non-farm payrolls and unemployment rates. This could also cause some volatility, so be ready for that just to be safe. So, anyways, for now, we're just going to take it one step at a time. We have the FOMC minutes at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then NVIDIA's earnings after the bell. As far as Tesla's going, if we end up losing 390, we could turn more bearish and we're looking for a move back down towards these lows if we get a rug pull. But if we're bullish, first we need to clear this 20 EMA around 411. If we break that, I'm looking for 420. And if that breaks as well, I'm looking for 425 plus. I think that the setup looks a bit more bullish because Tesla was at 380. It bounced, made a higher low at our, I think, very close to our golden pocket. Then we bounced and we're trying to make higher lows. So with NVIDIA's earnings, we do favor the upwards direction as a stronger possibility. But keep in mind, it's a possibility, not a guarantee. So we'll see what happens. Look for volatility at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So look for some volatility here for Tesla. And once again, Nvidia's earnings to cause a big move after market close today. And we will see if Tesla could break past 411, then eventually 420 to break out even more. SPY is dipping right now. It kind of like pumped and dumped a bit, but I'm going to be watching some key levels. We're in this channel. As you could tell, we're just going back and forth between supply and demand. At the upper yellow line, we reject. At the lower one, we like to bounce. SPY pumped to about 667 and came back down. But we have to see if this is about to break out or not. With the FOMC minutes and NVIDIA's earnings, if we're bullish, you want to see us basically take out 668. If we do that, we're looking for 672 and 675 as our targets. If we're bearish, we could be dumping back down towards essentially 655. I'm hoping that we try to bounce if we get some good earnings from Nvidia or the FOMC minutes help us pop. We will see. Be very, very unbiased. I also do not want to see SPY lose 655. If we lose that, it's going to be a bad sign. So hopefully we end up reversing, but we will see just to be safe. For now, we are on a bit of a downtrend. We're technically trading sideways for the shorter term. The trend is still bearish, but we have not um, broken some key support yet. We have not lost these lows, so it's still trading in the middle. Same thing with the QQQ. We're trading sideways for the past day, but overall the trend is still bearish until we break resistance. We need to break 605 to break out for 612 and 617. But if we end up losing 595, we're looking for a dip. So hopefully we try to bounce back up towards like 603. We'll see if that ends up being the case or not. But overall, we're still technically just trading sideways. On the IWM, we're trading sideways. We need to break past 236 to push for 240. But if we end up losing 230 flat, we're going to be turning more bearish. We're technically on a downtrend, but it depends on Nvidia's earnings, in my opinion. On ES, the same setup exists as SPY. We need to break 6750 to be more bullish, but if we lose 6600, we're going to be more bearish. We're in the middle for now. We could be dipping back down to like 6640, and I think we consolidate. Then we're going to see if we break up or down depending on these targets. So give this the time it needs as we're still in the middle. But watch and see what happens as time goes on with Nvidia's earnings coming out. On NQ, we have resistance at 25,000, and we have support down here at 24,500. We could dip a bit, and we'll see if we bounce. I do think we consolidate for now in this range until we get some data. And I think that Nvidia's earnings is going to be very impactful for NQ, so be ready for that. For Bitcoin, we're technically on a downtrend looking for 88,000 as our potential targets. For Tesla, like I said before, we're trading sideways right now around the low 400s. I think we continue to trade sideways for the rest of the day until we get to the FOMC minutes. That may cause some volatility, but I expect more volatility with NVIDIA's earnings. One thing about NVIDIA to remember is that NVIDIA had this yellow line acting as resistance, and we were on a downtrend, and then we just broke out. We have a very similar, larger setup right here, so we'll see if NVIDIA breaks out with the earnings or not, or if we get the big rug pull. We could go either way. Hopefully, we get a bounce. That helps the markets. We will see. For Apple, I want to see if we could hold above 269. If we lose 264, we're bearish. But if we hold above 269, we're going to be favoring upside more for like 272. Right now, we're doing a good job at holding up, and we're favoring bulls a bit more, and we'll see if Apple could hold these levels. Palantir showing some weakness, favoring 163 for some downside. AMD is favoring this low right here around 225. Coinbase is technically on a downtrend. It's going to be favoring essentially 250 and 245 for some downside targets. On Apple, we have a wick. Sorry, not Apple. Amazon, we have a wick forming here. I said I want to see us hold 220 to 222. If 220 fails this, we're going to be more bearish. But if we hold this, we could try to bounce for 225. So we'll see if that ends up being the case or not. On Meta, we're on a bit of a downtrend. We're going to see if we bounce. We have 585 as our main support. If that fails this, we could be dumping. But if we hold this, we could be looking for a rebound back up towards 595. On Google, we're looking a bit more bullish. We have this resistance right here at 295 to 300. And we have support down here at 285. We're going to see if this tries to push back up towards the 300 mark. On Microsoft, we're on a downtrend right now. We're going to see if we could hold 485 or not. But for now, there is some downside risk, and we'll see how we end up reacting. So, with that being said, guys, I thank you all so much for listening. The market is range bound for now. Same thing with SPY, the QQQ, and the others. I also think that Tesla's trading sideways between 400 and 405 for now. We also have 410 as our resistance, but I just think we trade sideways for the time being. We're waiting for the FOMC minutes and may cause some volatility. But then the main time for volatility is going to be NVIDIA's earnings after the bell. So we'll see if that causes Tesla to bounce or not. Hopefully, Tesla could break 410 and eventually get back to the 420s. We will see what happens as time goes on. With that being said, guys, I thank you all so much for listening, and peace out.